Jose Flores, global motivator, mindset disruptor, and best-selling author of Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard. We're living in some strange times nowadays, and I get it. There's a lot of people that are living in fear, that are struggling, that are hurting, that are broken, and that have lost hope. And that's why I'm here. You see, because I was born with a neuromuscular condition called spinal muscular atrophy. And what that does is basically the older I get, the weaker my muscles get. And the doctor said that by the age of 15, I'd end up in a wheelchair, and they weren't even expecting me to live past my teenage years. Can you imagine being told that? And so I was like, oh my goodness. But I have good news for you guys, because this year, back in February on the 25th, I celebrated my 43rd birthday. That's right. That's right. I know you're probably clapping. I'm clapping right along with you, because I'm just as excited as you are, because I'm still here. I'm still alive. And every single day that I wake up and I get to breathe on my own, I'm excited for life. Because according to what the doctor said, I'm not supposed to be here. But there was other plans for my life, right? There was other plans for my life. And that's why I'm still here. There was a purpose for my life. And that's why I'm still here. I wake up every single morning and I kick life in the butt, because I'm like, I had to make a choice in life, right? Life is all about choices and the decisions that we make. And I had to make a choice in life, because when I was younger, I had the type of mindset that said, you're never going to do anything great. You're never going to accomplish anything. You're never going to do anything of significance. You're not going to be able to leave a mark or a legacy or do anything of impact. And that was my mindset for several years. And I was upset. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was confused. I was asking the big question that we all ask when something happens that we don't want, or something happens that we didn't expect, right? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? That was the question that was on my mind for so many years, because I was born like this. I felt like I was never given a rightful chance at life, because I started out in the negative, sort of speaking, right? But again, that was the mindset. But it wasn't until I became like in my late 20s, early 30s, where the very thing that I thought was causing my demise, the very thing that was causing my body to be weak, would be the very thing that I would use to show the world how strong I really am. You see, because everybody's body is going to get weak as they get older, right? It's just the law of the universe. Mine just happened to be going a little more quickly than others. So it doesn't matter what's happening to the body. What matters is what's going on in your mind, in my mind. And what was in my mind, I had to get rid of my stinking thinking. I had to get rid of my stinking thinking. And it wasn't until I did that that my life changed forever. It changed forever, guys. It was the way I was thinking that was holding me back. It wasn't my condition. It wasn't my body getting weak. It wasn't the wheelchair that I'm currently in. It was the way I was thinking. It was the things that I was thinking. It was the limiting belief system that I had and that I was carrying with me for so many years. And again, until I said, no more. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision that said, I'm not going to let this wheelchair defeat me. I'm not going to let this wheelchair define me. And I'm not going to let this wheelchair dictate my destiny. And that's the choice that I made. And again, folks, when I made that choice, when I made that decision, my life changed forever. Because I'm so excited to stand here before you. A husband, today's actually my wife and I's anniversary. We're celebrating 13 years of marriage. We've been together for a lot longer than that, 20 years. I have 2 amazing children. I own my own home. I drive my own car with hand controls, and we run our own company. I'm an international motivational speaker and coach and trainer and consultant. And we get to do what we love to do every single day. And the only way that happened is because I made a decision. So if you're watching this, and you may be going through your own struggle. You may be going through your own set of challenges. You may be facing your own adversity. I want to let you know that it all starts in the mind. If you change the way you're thinking, the things that are happening in your life will change. If you change the way you're thinking, the things that are happening in your life will change. But you have to make up your mind first. You have to make up your mind in order for it to work, in order for you to become successful. Because not only do I have a wife and all these other things that I just mentioned, but just a few weeks ago, I'm an author of 3 books. I just finished writing my 3rd book with my wife. It's an amazing book. It's called What Real Love Looks Like. But I have a current book that's out already. It's called Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard. How to Be Indispensable Even When the Odds are Stacked Against You. That's such a fitting title, for especially for the times that we're in. But that book just made the USA Today, Yahoo Finance, and Forbes top 20 books to read this summer. This summer. How fitting is that we're all facing the same adversity, they're all facing the same challenge of this COVID-19, right? And people, like I said, are living in fear. They're living in scarcity. They're living in limiting beliefs. And we need to get rid of that. And that's what I'm here for. And I hope that you're here for that as well. And if you're listening to this, and like I said, you may be going through your own struggle, your own adversity, I want to let you know that hope is alive and well. And the reason I know that is because I'm still here. I'm still here because I know that hope is alive and well. I made a choice. I made a decision. And the same way that I did that, you can do that as well. You can make a choice and a decision in your life that can change your life forever. I chose not to feel and live defeated any longer. I chose not to have limiting beliefs. I chose not to be negative. I chose not to just want to live the same old and just live an average Joe life. I said, no, I want more out of life. There has to be more than just living and dying in this wheelchair. And so when I made that choice, guys, I'm telling you, I hope you feel me through this video. Your life will change. Your life will change. It's all about changing your mindset, though. That's why you see this hat. It says Mindset Disruptor. If you can disrupt your normal way of thinking, if you can disrupt the way that you're thinking right now, if you can disrupt your thought patterns, if you can disrupt your limiting beliefs, I promise you, I guarantee you, you'll start to see new results. You'll start to see different results. You'll start to see that you'll start to make more connections with different types of people than you're normally used to connecting with. You'll start to see results that you haven't seen, that you've been wanting to see, and you'll start to see those results. So listen, guys, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you're watching this. And like I said, if you're watching this, I want you to understand that if I can do all these things, you can do them as well. I travel the world now with the great Les Brown. He wrote the foreword to my current book that's out right now. I went on tour with him 2 years ago. And this is coming from a guy who was given basically a death sentence. You're not going to survive past your teenage years. And here I am doing great and amazing and fun and impactful things. I'm making a difference one day at a time, one person at a time. And I'm so grateful for social media and the internet, because now I get to impact even more lives one day at a time. Everyone that comes in contact with my content, everyone that comes in contact with me, whether in person or one of my videos, I want them to understand that hope is alive and well. Hope is alive and well. Don't be defeated. Don't let your current circumstances dictate what your future is going to look like. What you may be going through right now, this very moment while you're watching this, is not your final destination, guys. Because if you wake up and you're breathing and you have a sound mind, you can make a choice. You can make a decision that day is going to be the best day of your life. That's what I do every single day. And if you can incorporate that into your daily routines, if you can turn that and develop that into a habit in your life, I promise you and guarantee you that you'll start to see things changing in your sphere of influence, changing in your environment, changing in your community, changing in your family, but most importantly, changing in your mind. Why? Because you've made up your mind that you're not going to settle, and that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that you want more out of life. And when you make that decision, that's when the door of success opens up over your life. So listen, guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I believe in you, and I'm praying for you. Again, my name is Jose Flores, and you can get more information about me on my website at joseinspires.com. And you can also follow me on any social media platform at Jose Inspires. I love you. And like I said, I appreciate you. And I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is overcrowded. Take care. God bless.
Hi, Joy and Flow followers. How are you? Today I wanted to share with you being content in a world filled with discontent. And what I mean by content, I don't mean being complacent, and I also don't mean not caring about anything that's happening around us. But what I mean is by contentment is just having that inner peace so that we have that inner strength in order to deal with everything that's happening around us. And when I think of the word content, I have to think of the Apostle Paul and what he said in Philippians 4:11, that I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. And the word content in Greek literally means to be sufficient to self or self-sufficient, and competent to be independent of external circumstances and other people. And I always like to say that joy and flow are an inside job, and being content is an inside job. And what I love is that the Apostle Paul says to learn to be content. So content just doesn't naturally happen, that we need to learn to be content. And this, self-sufficient, it doesn't mean being self-absorbed, but what it does mean is relying on that fruit of the Spirit that we have, which is self-control. Because we're human and we love to be in control. Being in control makes us feel safe. And right now we can't feel very safe because things are out of control. But what we do have control over, and the self-control, is how we react to what's happening around us. And for many of us with this pandemic, it means not being social anymore, going out, going to the office, and that means being isolated and being at home. And the flurry of activity is no longer happening, and the busyness of life has been taken away, and that can open us up to silence. And some people love silence, and some people are terrified of silence, because what that can bring up are maybe feelings that you have been avoiding, that it's easy to be distracted in our world with stressing and striving and busyness, and not allowing those deep feelings or pain or trauma or things that we've experienced from the past to come to the surface, because it is easy for us to be distracted and to avoid them. And so I think this is a great opportunity if you are feeling this discontent that is nagging at you, that something deeper is going on, that you can find a way to find healing from that. And on this contentment front, I found some information that I thought was very helpful. I wanted to share with you, and it was from a psychologist, a British psychologist named Paul Gilbert. And what he found was just doing psychotherapy with people was not helping enough. What he found was he needed to do compassion therapy. And he found that there were 3 systems in our brain. And I had done a video where I talked about that you can calm your anxiety through understanding. And when we understand how our brain works, we can, instead of going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me and why am I feeling this way? Most of the time our brain is acting a certain way, and it's there to help us. And I found this other information about our brain, which he talked about the 3 systems. And those systems are the the threat system. And that's our fight or flight instinct. That's our reaction system, and our danger system, and it's our protection system. And then there's the drive system. And this is our source of motivation. It drives us to achieve our goals and things that we need. And then appropriately enough for this video is the contentment system. And this is our soothing system. And it's when we feel safe and at peace. And there's no need to strive or attain anything. And so unfortunately, if you're having those feelings, if you are feeling anxious and you are feeling that something is not right, then maybe when you were younger, if we were not provided, if our parents or people that took care of us had not provided us with soothing and with comfort, then we have no role models to do this self-soothing for ourselves. I know that was true for me because my father ended up being an alcoholic and bipolar and had these angry outbursts and was abusive towards my mother. And so my mother was coping in her own way, and I was being neglected there from my father. So I had no one to comfort me or to soothe me through this process. And if you've gone through any trauma, any bullying, anything like that, then you don't have this way for you to soothe yourself. So what happens is that these drives get all out of whack and they're out of balance. And you can either live from the threat system where you're constantly anxious, you're doubting yourself, you're not trusting yourself, you don't trust others, and you don't trust God. Or you could be living from the drive system, which many of us live from. I certainly live from that. I got my self-esteem from my stressing and my striving and being rewarded. And we are out of balance to not have that contentment system. So what we need to do, all of us need to do, is we need to find out how to soothe ourselves. And so I would offer just a few tips here to do that. I had read, which I thought was really lovely, if you just put your hand over your heart, which is where all your feelings and all your love comes from. If you just do that, you're really connecting to love, and that can help soothe you. I would also urge you not to do things maybe that you did to avoid or to stuff down these feelings that are unhealthy, like maybe food was your go-to source like it was for me, and I would stuff my feelings down with food. Or maybe you've been reaching for alcohol to numb yourself from those feelings, and when the world was open fully as it had been, maybe shopping was your retail therapy that you used to go to, or you would be a workaholic. There are any number of ways. These are not soothing ways. These are more distracting and numbing ways. So find some ways. Just mindfulness is a great way, even if you are washing your hands that we're doing 90,000 times a day. If you just focus on the water running on your hands, if you're just present and be grateful, if you start to do some negative self-talk, if you're starting to beat yourself up, which could be your go-to stance, stop yourself, say a verse maybe that you love. If you start to think that way, go, no, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Or you can use one of the great mystics and say, all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. You can just choose these things to calm yourself, to soothe yourself, and do those things that are going to be healthy and to nurture you. And this will also ignite the fruits of the Spirit that you do have within you, that you do possess already, which are joy and love and kindness and faithfulness and gentleness, especially gentleness towards yourself. So the soothing is a process. You may find something that works for a while, and then you may have to try something else. But I would urge you to take this time to make this an opportunity to journal these feelings out, to talk to someone. My friend Danielle will say, if you don't deal with the feelings will deal with you. So I hope you look at this time as an opportunity that you can grow from this. So thank you all for watching, and I will always say stay safe, stay well, stay encouraged. Bye for now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darlene Corbett, and I am here to talk about resetting your mindset to get unstuck. How many of you believe that everyone is capable of resetting their mindset and getting unstuck? Well, I certainly am. You know why? I think even with this pandemic going on, that's making us feel stuck and stodgy and feeling like it's never going to end. It will. It's already shifting. If you look close enough, you see more movement, you see more hope. And I want to continue that because even before this pandemic, I've always believed that the universe is constantly in flux. What about you? What are your thoughts about that? You know, I said this once to a group of women in a nail salon of all places. And one woman told me, she turned around. I didn't even think she was listening. And she said, "That's not true." She said, "I got divorced and nothing's going to shift around that." And I looked at her. I said, "That's probably true. But you are the one that has shifted and continues to shift, remaining unstuck." And she looked at me and she conceded. Let me prove my point and invite you to go on a journey, a beautiful imaginary journey. Let's begin. You can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open. Imagine that you are walking along a beautiful beach on a beautiful summer day in the early, early morning. The sun is beginning to rise, and as that big red ball makes its way into the sky, you can notice the colors: purple, rose, almost silver, as if an artist took paint from its palette, dabbed different colors onto a canvas such as the sky, making a magnificent, unique masterpiece, never to be seen exactly in that way again. And as you walk along the beach, just being in awe of this masterpiece in the sky, you can feel the soft sand beneath your feet, but knowing that the earth is actually rotating around the sun as that beautiful sunrise gets us ready for the sun. We don't feel it. It's moving all around us, but we stay stationary because of gravity. But that does not mean that movement's not going. So as it does, feeling that soft sand, taking a deep breath and breathing in the beautiful, beautiful air, the life force. And then I want you just to look out at the water, the waves rising and falling gently. And just for a moment, imagine, it wouldn't happen on the ocean, that even when water is in a still state, or appears to be, there's movement beneath the sea. Now, as you walk, just enjoy this gorgeous, gorgeous scene around you, feeling it, seeing it. And now I invite you to go more inward. Imagine going inward and thinking about your body being like an orchestra, the magnificent design of the human body and other mammals that are, not quite at our level, but us, the human being, the uniqueness of our own symphony. I liken the systems working together with the mighty brain conducting as a gorgeous symphony. What I'd like you to do is just imagine the lungs now, the respiratory system, your lungs contracting, taking it in and letting it out the air. And imagine your mighty heart taking that air through the blood and circulating it throughout the whole body, taking that oxygen and then expelling this carbon dioxide and doing the same thing again without us even feeling it. The gastrointestinal system is working with it, the skeletal system, as we know, our mighty bones, the muscular system, all the systems are working together. Genital, urinary, everything. Skin, that system, all working together with the mighty brain conducting, like beautiful music within. Movement abounds. Now I invite you to open your eyes and really just sit for a moment and reflect on this. Allow yourself to be reminded that this is you, the unique you, as well as the unique other person, every other person in the universe. So we have outward movement, we have inward movement. Just what an amazing, amazing feat that is. Now, I want you to begin to think about unstuck because I made an acronym out of it. I made an acronym and I'm going to invite you to consider this acronym. We'll start with you. You are unique. No one else like you, never was, never will be. And if you say you're not unique, you say, well, I'm friendly, but so isn't so-and-so. Oh, no, 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 no. Your friendliness is like wearing a gorgeous outfit, whether you're a man wearing a beautiful suit or a woman wearing a beautiful dress. It looks different on you as it does on everyone else. Unique like the stars in the sky, every single star. Unique like every single tree. Unique like a gorgeous diamond. Every beautiful diamond, the hottest and most brilliant stone of all the gorgeous jewels. Unique. A client told me once, Darlene, what about the snowflakes? I said, right on, unique. Now, you get in touch with your uniqueness and watch what happens. Because that's what I really want people to do is get in touch with their uniqueness and never think it's the same for you as it is for someone else. And it's for you. There's no one else that's going to ever experience that moment in time like you. And that moment in time you just experienced is gone. Everything is anew. The past is in the past. That's it. There's only two purposes for the past. Savoring those delicious moments. And what have you learned? Is there something you learned from the past, whether it be good or not so easy? And use that and apply that to go forward. S is for strength. We all have an inner strength. And I really have people get in touch with that. I learned a wonderful, wonderful technique once from a marvelous hypnotherapist named Claire Frederick. But getting in touch with it, it can be a thought, it could be an image, it could be a feeling, it could be a bodily sensation. I've added, it could be a positive voice, it could be a beautiful sound, it could be a positive memory you can anchor onto. Tap into your inner strength. And again, you can close your eyes and go inward. For example, I use something from yoga, Warrior Queen. I haven't done yoga in years, but I use the magnificent Warrior Queen. We've all had our battles, we've had our wounds, but we're here to tell the tale. T, tenacity. The most important ingredient is grit. I love grit because we know sometimes we're going against the terrain and it's hard to do, but tenacity fits the acronym. So tenacity, that is what gets you over the top. That's what keeps you going. Think about times when you never thought you could keep going, but you do. Tenacity, tap into that. You is for unique again. Again, no one else like you. C, creative. You were created. If you have children, you've created. And if you haven't had children, you've created in other ways. Creativity is something I really believe we all have in some form within us. Yes, some people get in touch with it when they're children. Why? Who knows? There's many variables. But so many other people don't get connected to it until later in life. 50, 60, 70, 80, even 90. There's so many people that do something as long as they have life and they have chapters in their life. They can do it. And finally, K is for knowledge. Now, everyone likes to read. I understand that. I am a bookaholic, very much so. But some people can acquire knowledge in all kinds of ways. If you don't like reading the written word, you can listen to it. You can also just peruse the internet. And there's some things that aren't helpful on there. But there's so many things that I never stop learning in whatever way that is. You want to learn a new skill, you can also go to YouTube. I do that. I think we can learn from older people, such as myself and even older than me, and younger people. I learned about something, I forget what, from a 12-year-old on YouTube. How about that? Young and old working together. So I just want to say, remind yourself nothing stays the same. You will get unstuck. If you have the determination, you will. You will in some ways anyway, because this pandemic is going to end. And remind yourself, when you open those doors again, what's out there for you? The horizon is there. My name is Darlene Corbett again, and my website is darlenecorbett.com. Enjoy this. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and bye for now.
Hello, everyone. It's Angela Marshall. I am coming on today to encourage you, to motivate, to celebrate, to illuminate, but mostly to liberate YOU. Today, I want to talk a little bit about onward, forward, and upward, and what that looks like in the midst of so much chaos and confusion and uncertainty. Because we sure have a lot of that lately, especially in 2020, right? Let me just say that I've had so many people say to me, I wish I could just redo 2019 or 2018. Well, I'm sure there were some issues and some struggles and some stumbling blocks that we had to overcome in 2018, 2019, and previous years also. But what I'd like to look at today, as far as moving onward, moving forward, and moving upward, it's just as it states, because you can go upward from a down moment. You can go forward from a setback. And you can go onward from any situation that we feel has suppressed us or that may have some sort of stronghold over us. We can overcome it. It's all in how you view it. A lot of times I think we stand in front of the mountains and the hills, or we're in the valley and we look down, or, we're not necessarily looking through, and we're not looking over, we're not looking beyond. I like to tell my mentees the majority of the time, don't assess the situation for what it is or where it is. Assess it for where you want it to be. What is the ultimate end result for YOU? And all of that ties in, right, with onward, forward, and upward. There's a lot of stuff going on in 2020. I mean, we were hit at the beginning with the coronavirus, and then we have protests all across this amazing globe, this earth, this land that has been so richly given to us for us to just be successful and to flourish and to thrive. And it saddens me. It really does. And even though I am known for being a positive penny and always having a smile on my face, it's just one of the things where I'd rather look at the good than the bad. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to be, gullible or be naive to the bad things that are going around, amongst us, because absolutely not. We have to be aware, and we should be aware and alert to what's going on. I just think that with so many senseless killings and just the violence and other people's hatred and hateful perspectives, I think that as opposed to me putting my focus on that, I'm choosing to put my focus on onward, upward, and forward. And that just simply means no matter what the media outlets, the press, or, other people that have opposing beliefs or values to me, other than what I have, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm not discounting it either, because they believe how they believe, they value what they want to value, and I have that right too. So I'm just choosing to go onward, forward, and upward. And I can't say that enough, because if you don't go forward, you're stuck. Either you're in the past or you're in reverse. And I do believe that our past, the history, different things, mistakes, lessons, issues, from stumbling blocks to stepping stones that have brought us or is bringing us to where we are today. I think that a lot of that has to do with learning and, using that to build, to create a better you, which is advantageous, right? Especially as we grow as people. But to think that, I'm just going to harbor, or I'm going to really set my focus on what was behind. I've never been one to do that, and I don't really exhort people to do that, because I don't think that it has anything to do with you being able to grow, and to grow in a way that just sets you up for ultimate significance and success. And I believe that that's where we all, are trying to or attempting to be or become. And that's a part of it. Again, onward, upward, and forward. While the world may be in a crisis, I like to say that I am in a Christ is. Christ is. I am known for flipping cliches and slogans and just taking a lot of negatives and turning them into positives. Not because I want to be this positive penny or this person who is, just gullible by any stretch of the imagination. However, I sincerely believe in viewing things in a very optimistic outlook and standpoint, because it gives me a better chance overall of bringing all the things in my life that I want, like happiness, peace, joy, love, light, life, the ability to just be successful in my businesses and my relationships, fostering really good relationships. And I think all of that is important when you look at the overall trajectory of where we want to be, or the type of people that we want to be. Now, not everybody, is viewing my perspective as such. And it's okay, because again, I don't focus on what other people say or, their opinions or what they think. I'm not discounting them, but I just don't focus on it. And neither should you. Onward, forward, and upward. Trials and tribulations are going to come. Issues, mistakes. People are going to come and go. Things are going to come and go in life. But that does not mean that, we just focus on the down, the dysfunctional, the discouragement, the disappointments. I think that a lot of life has to do with what you have set your mind to believe and to view in these days and times. Again, I am very aware and up on current events, whether it's political, social, cultural, mental, emotional, physical, every aspect, spiritual, financial in my life. But I am just choosing. And I do believe in that big word, the power of decision, deciding to see things in a better light, despite, what that bottom line may truly be, or what we may be facing at a particular time. I think we all can say that 2020, I guess, how they say, it's just seasons that we go through. 2020 has been quite a season. But I will honestly say that during this season, I've learned so much about myself. I've learned much about my priorities, my responsibility, accountability, just me as a person. So I just really wanted to take this time to do a hard reset, reboot, restructure, rebalance, to just make sure that I was being the best Angela Marshall that I was created to be. And hopefully that's what you ladies and gentlemen have and are doing at this particular time too. Because the only true way to succeed in life at being you is to face yourself, forgive yourself, and force yourself to forge ahead. Now that was a lot of F's in there, huh? Face yourself, forgive yourself, and force yourself to forge ahead. Because there's really nothing, I don't really agree with that there's really nothing left for us in the past because of my ancestors and forefathers and different situations. I am where I am today, and I am able to be who I was created to be because of them. And I'm definitely thankful for each and every situation, every person. I don't care what the ethnicity is, black, white, Native American, all of them. I am thankful for every person that believes in human kindness, that believes in humanity, that believes in equality for humanity. I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful. I am Angela Marshall. I hope that I have imparted something that will give you just a brighter today, a brighter tomorrow. And I thank you for the opportunity to come before you, because my motto is positively impact and influence through my words, work, and wisdom. Hey guys, onward, forward, and upward. Okay? Those are the only 3 directions that are acceptable. Onward, forward, and upward. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, your month, your year, your decade. Let's do this. Stronger together. I am a connection, not competition. Angela Marshall, thank you.
Hi there. My name's Michelle Calloway. I'm the founder and CEO of Revealio. It's an innovative software and media solutions company. I'm also the founder of Tech with Heart. Tech with Heart's all about empowering business success in a digital era. And what we do is we like to enlighten business owners as far as what technologies they should indeed be embracing so that they can stay competitive and relevant in a rapidly changing digital world like we're finding ourselves in right now. But our focus is even more on how we use that technology to connect with people, connect and enhance relationships with one another, because as you're probably fully aware, we only do business with other people. We don't do business necessarily with robots, right? We want to use artificial intelligence and technologies to be more efficient, but I really am passionate about making sure that we are using technology to enhance relationships. For instance, let's talk about smartphones. How easy would it be for us to use this smartphone not to just text somebody, but to actually call somebody? The original way that we used to communicate back in the day, before smartphones came in and were like little mini computers, is we would just call somebody and let them hear our voice. And I think that that is still such a valid way for us to connect with one another in this time of social distancing. So I really encourage you, sometimes I'm sure if you're like me, you have a thought that comes across your mind at times where you're like, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing. Rather than texting or rather than reaching out to them on social media, what if you just picked up the phone and called them? I think that that would just absolutely make their day, especially if they answer the phone. Then you get to like really like, hey, how's it going? And just make somebody feel something super wonderful, right? Oh, I love that feeling. But we also can use technology, smartphone technology, to take it to the next level beyond just a phone call. You can actually use like FaceTime apps or get them on a Zoom call so that you can see one another while you reconnect. And I just did that just recently with a friend I hadn't seen in like 2 years. Oh, it was wonderful to be able to like see each other and get the facial expressions behind the vocal tone. It was just a beautiful reconnection, and it's memorable. For me, I know I'm a visual learner, maybe you are too, and so it really helped for me to be able to see her face while I'm hearing her voice and just having that connection moment. I really think that these are tools that we could all use. There's a way on your cell phone. Did you know that if you had to call, if you tried calling somebody and you had to leave a message, that you could actually leave them a video message on their, like as if you're texting them. So let's just show you here. You can go and I'm just going to pull up somebody's name, and you can actually click here. See here? You can click here on the camera, and you can go into your video mode. Just move it over to video, and you can actually take a video of yourself and it'll put it into the text. You can also share like animated GIFs or GIFs with people through your texting app, which is like those little short little animated clips that, you know, you can have a section of a video, or it can be an actual animation of a cartoon character or something like that. And that's always a fun way to like interact with people, to make them feel something and get them, you know, smiling, because I think we all need to share more like spreading of positive vibes during this this COVID-19 era where we're all like sequestered and feeling like distanced and disconnected. And these are just fun ways that you can use technology to like engage people. And you can actually add audio messages to your gifts when you're sharing that out to your friends and family. So those are some ideas that you can use, like utilize your cell phone. There's also ways that you can like connect with people, obviously through social media. And some people just use social media to kind of see what other people are doing. And then there's opportunity for you to share with others what you got going on. So that's a great way to share photos. You can share stories. You can share little video clips. Let people feel like they're in your life with you. I know that video for me is a very powerful medium. Like my daughter had a grandbaby, my first grandbaby. She had her daughter, and rather than just sending still photos of her baby to me, I've asked her if she just take little video clips so that I can like hear her, I could see her move, and I feel like I'm more like in that moment with her, and I really love that. And so maybe that's something that you could do as well, is just allow people to have a short little glimpse of what you're doing or what you and your family is doing. That's a great way to help us all feel connected to one another during this time, is to share little insights into our world, our lives, or just say hello. I love you guys. I miss you. Say whatever you want to your audience, as long as it's not, I don't know, I think that social media shouldn't be all that heavy on the political or that kind of stuff, because it could cause like fireworks to go off in your comment section. I think that this is more about like sharing positivity so that we can all pick up that positive vibe and own it and carry it for the rest of the day. It's a much better vibe than some of this division that's going on in our country right now. I use social media to encourage one another, so you can like share encouraging posts. You can share encouraging quotes. You can find quotes on, just go google.com. You can find encouraging quotes. You can actually type in encouraging quotes and see what comes up, and you can share those, or you can come up with your own and put a little background to it and hit share. And then you can put little hashtags in there that allow people to know what the premise is of the post. Like if it's about appreciation, you can do hashtag appreciation, hashtag positivity, so that when people are looking and Googling for those types of words, your post could pop up in front of them. So that's always good, because I love the idea on social media that we can all share each other's positive stuff, right? It's a great way to engage people. You can ask people, hey, how are you doing today with such and such, or tell me what are you doing to overcome blah, blah, blah. And you can put that in your post, and that's a great way to also engage people and to interact with them. And so that we all feel like even though we're not able to be in each other's physical presence, we're still able to engage and interact with each other, because we are all built for community. And I think that we need to continue that, even if it's online or in the virtual online world, we can still feel like we are a part of a community that is encouraging one another. I personally love it when somebody's sharing something great in their business, like something that feels something of value, and also is of value to my particular audience, because I do Tech with Heart, which is about empowering entrepreneurs. So if it's going to be something that can ultimately empower entrepreneurs, I have absolutely no problem sharing somebody else's post or content into my group page, so that they too can be exposed into my network community, because really ultimately we just want our groups and communities to grow. So that's a really great tool that you could use to help and boost others, because it's if we come at life with the idea that we can serve one another and help each other up, then it all will come around full circle. Yeah, I definitely believe in collaboration and cooperation over competition any day in the business space. And I love to share thoughts, ideas, tips, or tricks that could empower others. And that's not just only in technology, but like in life itself. Like I want to empower you to perhaps, I'll put a post out there saying, maybe some idea on how you can overcome a certain broken mindset or a broken heart, or how I want to do it in an encouraging way. I want to empower people in an encouraging way. So there are ways that you can use social media to do that. and it doesn't always have to be your own content. You can share other people's content on your page, which is great. And then I love the idea that whatever we put out there, think about it before you hit post and ask yourself, is this going to be of value to somebody else, and why? Those are some good questions to ask yourself so that you're not out there blasting stuff that could necessarily look like you're putting yourself up on this pedestal and that you're pointing fingers at anybody and making them feel less than. We want to lift each other up and encourage each other to be the best version of ourselves, especially in this time where many people are experiencing like sadness, sorrow, depression. So we want to come up underneath them and lift them up too, and not make them feel like, oh, this person's always positive, I can't handle it, because not everybody's always positive. So be real, authentic, but also be posting things that are of value to others, and hopefully will encourage them. That's my little tidbit on it. One of the things that I love doing in technology is to be a little bit in front of some of the emerging trends. And I'm not sure if you've heard about virtual reality or augmented reality, but I am a big fan of augmented reality. It's kind of more like Iron Man. And what it does is it allows us to have, it bridges the physical realm with like the virtual realm in a way that it adds to our reality. So it's augmented, meaning enhanced or added to. And so one of the best things that I love to do is to send people something physical that's going to remind them of me or congratulate them on an event. Maybe it's a birth of a child, or it could be even actually with the death of somebody. You want to show them that you care about them, so you would send them like a condolence card, right? Well, with augmented reality technology, what we're able to do is take that to the next level and make that physical card come alive with a personalized message. I want to share some examples with you. This is a young lady friend of mine. So when I first started developing Revealio, she saw that I can make things come alive, and she loved her boyfriend, who is now deployed overseas in the military. So she asked if I could help her create a greeting card that would come alive with a personalized message for him. And I said, yes, absolutely. So when he received the card, this is what he saw, this card come alive. I'm going to show you what happens. So he held his phone over the card, and her face turned into a story. Watch this.
Hey Josh, it's Gabby. Yes, I'm on an app.
See how it's actually on the card? Isn't that the coolest thing?
It's raining here.
She's telling him how much she misses him and how much she loves him. Isn't that the neatest thing? I love this story. This is actually our signature story. So he was a soldier, and he said that he felt the oceans disappear between them and that she was right there with him. So he carried that card with him in his wallet every day because he couldn't imagine being separated from her. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that story. So what I've been doing during this COVID era is I've been sending out people that are important to me, whether that's in business or whether it's in personal life, and I'm sending them positive, encouraging physical cards like this one here. It says, you're all kinds of amazing. And on the inside, there's a nice little statement here trying to help them understand that they are valuable to me. But then my husband Jerry and we went to the next level, and we put a photo in there and told them that this photo comes alive. And this is what we did was we sang a song. I'll show you. Watch this.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Isn't that awesome? So there's a really great way to utilize augmented reality to help connect people even across oceans, and when you're not able to be there in person, there's so much amazing things you can do with technology. These cards themselves were actually produced with technology. There's an app called Send Out Cards, and you can go there, send out cards /Revealio, the word Revealio, and you can actually create your own card for free and send it to a loved one. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You just make the card from the comfort of your chair. Add a graphic if you want on the inside. You can sometimes customize the front and send it off and they'll print it and deliver it for you, and you just get to just sit back and enjoy the fact that you just made somebody really, really happy that's going to get it. And they even allow you to add gifts like yummy, yummy brownies or little necklaces or other things that you can send. So there's all kinds of new technologies out there that will allow you to authentically connect and make somebody feel amazing during this time of social distancing and a lot of sorrow and a lot of just uncertainty. So I just encourage you, if you are at all interested in joining our business network called Tech with Heart Network on Facebook, you're welcome to go there and join our group for free. So my name is Michelle Calloway, and I hope that you and your family stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Cadini. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'm here to share some inspiring and encouraging thoughts that I hope will bring you more strength and positivity during these difficult times. I know many of you are working from home. Many of you feel isolated from the rest of the world because we can't get out and we can't hang out with family and friends like we used to. And this makes everything more challenging and more frustrating. But what if we used these difficult times to help ourselves and others to grow and to find a new purpose in life? What if these challenging times were here to test us, to push us beyond our limits, to show us a different path or perspective, to present new opportunities maybe? Several clients of mine found themselves alone, having to work from home, confused, not sure what to do with their lives and their businesses, scared, living in areas that were most impacted by COVID-19, and they were more stressed out than usual, of course. I felt privileged to be there to help them as their life coach, but as a human being like them, I too felt stressed out, scared, and not sure what the future would hold for all of us. I found myself thinking a lot. What should I do? How can I help my clients overcome their fears and their uncertainties? But despite the current challenges, I saw a lot of courage. I saw change. I saw evolution. We as human beings have this innate ability to always adapt and grow, thrive, and succeed, no matter what obstacles we are faced with. People usually find solace praying, meditating, getting the help of others, but ultimately, it is you who can make a big difference in your life. And this is what I saw in my clients. They transformed their lives through their despair, through their fears, through their challenges. One of them is a realtor in Florida. Let's call him Mark. Mark's real estate office closed down around mid-March, and all the employees and agents had to start working remotely. Mark felt isolated. He missed the dynamics at the office, the camaraderie with all of his colleagues, and he said that he was sad that he was unable to show homes to potential buyers any longer. And during one of our coaching sessions, I remember he told me, you know, Sabrina, my entire world stopped. I don't know what to do or to think anymore. I don't know what my life is going to be. I feel I lost my identity, my place in the community. Mark loved his job, and without that day at the office component, he felt a piece of his life has abandoned him. So we started to look at ways to fill his new life with things and activities that could bring him joy, that could make him feel alive again, and make him feel still helpful to others. Mark always felt his job as a realtor was making people's dreams come true, because he was able to provide a new home, a new future to his customers. Now, without that happening, he felt useless. We brainstormed a lot, we digged deeper into Mark's skills and talents, and I was able to find out that he has always loved sharing his knowledge for graphic design. This is something that he would do in his spare time, tutoring students here and there and offering free advice to friends and colleagues. Not because he needed an extra income, but because he truly enjoyed it. So I asked him, how could you utilize this talent of yours and make it useful for yourself and for others? And he thought for a little while, and then he responded, well, I've been thinking about creating a course on what I know best about graphic design, and that's around digital media. I have time to work on the creation. I could probably sell it online easily now that everyone is on their computers. So I asked him, what if? At first, Mark was a little surprised by my suggestion. He never thought that I would encourage him to change his life so drastically. But let's face it, COVID-19 did change our lives. It did change the lives of so many people very drastically and without warning. And so now was the time for Mark to take action and be in charge of his own future. Mark and I spent the rest of our coaching session that day putting together a checklist for the course. I don't know much about graphic design, but I offered my help to create a strategic plan from vision to reality. And then we looked at ways to deliver the course, which platform to use, and so on. At the end of the coaching session, Mark had a clear plan, and he had completely forgotten about his sense of loneliness, helplessness, and fear of the unknown. He had a plan. He had a goal to help others during this time. He had a solution for himself, for his current situation, and for potential customers who might get his help with graphic design. He even considered, think about this, the possibility to offer the course free of charge to those who had lost their jobs or had lost clients because of the current situation. So this was a completely new perspective for Mark. He felt empowered with the plan we discussed, and he left the coaching session with a big smile and a new bright goal to work on. He felt his purpose in life was back again, which was helping others. On our next coaching session, Mark had an outline for this course ready, and he was going to record the first video that same week. I could feel the excitement, the happiness, while he was telling me about his wins of the week, which is usually my first question on coaching sessions. The old Mark, filled with enthusiasm and positivity that I had known before COVID-19, was back. He even told me that he was able to sleep all night again, and he felt less anxious and more accomplished after a long time. A new chapter had started for Mark, and he couldn't wait for his course to be done and ready. So as you can see, this story is just one of many that shows you how each of us has this extraordinary ability to turn around the situation and create a new version of ourselves, if we want to. Too often we listen to others who might bring us down, who might negatively influence us, who might give us the wrong advice. But now, more than ever, we must believe in ourselves. I was reading a post on social media the other day that was talking about 2020, this year. A year to forget or to remember. Should it be a year to cancel or to consider the most important one in our lives? So think about it. Make this year count, but in a good way. Make this year memorable thanks to your courage and determination to make it successful, no matter what. So my message here is to focus on you, on your well-being, on what makes you happy, on how you can use your creativity, thinking outside the box, how you can stay productive and feel useful to your family, to your friends, to your community, to make engaging relationships, connections, and to focus on everything positive that you have around you, instead of worrying about all the negative that is happening around you. You are powerful. You are the creator of your life. You can make it. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best for a bright future and much success wherever life takes you. I'm Sabrina Cadini, and you can find me at sabrinacadini.com.